So the question of the day is, has the Immortals fixed FIFA at all? As Dream Chasers was horrendous. In general, I was incredibly bored of that promo. We've now got a fully icon/hero promo. It's almost like how we saw Galazzo last year. It was like the last pick up before we go into Team of the Season, and that's exactly what we've got again today. Now, obviously, when you do look through a few of them, we've got baby versions and we've got prime versions. If we was to go and do the first two quite comfortably, we are looking at two of the SBCs in Beckenbauer. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. And then we also have an objective of Bompastor. Now obviously when you look at both of them, you've got a 93 CDM and a 90 left back. Both of them have got a better version. Beckenbauer has a 96 and Bompastor has a 92, which you won't be able to see underneath me there. But regardless, they are the baby versions for a reason. When you look at the Icon SBC for Beckenbauer, 250. I mean, I kind of was shocked that they brought in a brand new player and he's only 250. I mean, just as a tryout, I mean, it's a very good one to have a look at. Obviously, he does have his 92 centre back, very bog standard, and we do have the 96 that looks incredible. Still very much in the centre mid kind of time with him. Obviously, with him, I would possibly even look as a CDM more than anything. I know he's coming in at 5'11", so not necessarily the tallest centre back in the world. So a CDM could actually suit him down to the ground, to be honest. And at 250, long ball pass, jockey and intercept, it's a very cheap SBC to get in there, especially if you have done the likes of Hullet. Putting him next to him as well could be a solid partnership. When we look at Bompastor, I personally would say she needs an Evo already. Unfortunately, she's very, very bog standard when it comes to this one. When we look at what left backs we truly have, there's not a lot going on. Pace is good enough, dribbling's fantastic, passing's good, defending's good, physical's okay. Other than the strength, I suppose, you're kind of just looking at a box standard left back. We've got so many options. Like, granted, I would say she's still usable, obviously, but I would say very soon she's going to be needing an upgrade again. When we've got the likes of Bale just coming in as a 90 left back, as well as then not talking about Alphonso Davies, talking about Teo, Sakina, or Karchawi, loads and loads of other options. The fact that she's free is nice, but is she really relevant in this space? Now, to be honest, I think in terms of icons, there's definitely an easy question to be asked is, how good are the strikers? You've got R9 at 96, you've got 95 Henry that looks outrageous, a 94 Bale, like they physically do not get better than them. That is three incredible strikers, let alone put in a Team of the Year Eusebio next to them, any upgrades of Cruyff. They are going to be incredibly meta. It is genuinely a surprise that they've gone for so heavy on there. All three of them are electric, and to be honest, you can use all three of them. Obviously, Bale comes in as the right wing, obviously Henry comes in as the left, and you can play R9 down here up front, which is just incredible. They're very expensive to say the least. 15 mil for R9, 14 mil give or take, well in fact it's 13.5 for Henry and 4.5 for Bale. Huge price tags on all of them. Which, to be honest, I don't think even if you kind of looked at the baby versions, I really do like this Bale card. The 90 Bale left back is actually a pretty surprise. We've done a review on the channel if you want to check that one out. We are going to be doing Henry next, so if you want to subscribe for that, please do. But we have got the 603,000 Bale, and to be honest, he was solid. Great down the wing, good tackler, very, very fast. Ability on the ball, technically not necessarily as gifted dribbling-wise as what the 94 would be. They've kind of gone for, you can go down the wing, but you're not necessarily dribbling past everybody. He's got a good enough touch, but it's not like a Zola or kind of like a Bruno Fernandes-esque that kind of little touch where he's getting around everybody. And he's got a bit of a shot on him as well. He took a few penalties. Free kicks are obviously there a little bit. He does have the dead ball plus on his 94, so he will have better on that. Personally, if I was looking at him, to be honest, as a left back, I'd actually put him up one. I think he's not far off going down into the very usable, because I do think Teo Hernandez is still better. Carchao is team of the year, could be argued very much. Maybe better than Grimaldo. Alphonso Davies, I feel like he's on that same sort of wavelength, because both of them are that same sort of player. They're both attacking wingbacks with huge amounts of pace. So I would suggest him to be very, very much in that top end at the moment, but he will drop down very quickly. And we're kind of saying the same for Beckenbauer, to be honest. Again, when you look at him, you kind of see the centre-back and think, is he really going to go in that centre-back role? And to be honest, when you do look at the stats, I'd possibly just put him in the CDM role. I think as a centre-back, he might be a little bit wasted there. Have like a Virgil and a Saliba, for instance, behind him, or Virgil and a Yap Stam, and have him sitting right in that centre. You could have Hullet just ahead of him, and then either somebody else or obviously go for the wings and striker, and you're absolutely laughing. The anticipate jockey with the long ball is fantastic. Great stats across the board. You've got decent pace, very good passing, decent dribbling, very good defending, very good physical. I mean, that's a perfect combination if you're asking me. You whack an anchor, controlled lengthy. You could still put him as a centre-back. I don't think it's the worst option, but I think CDM would suit him more. I think as a centre-back, I'd go very usable. As a CDM, I'd put him in the top meta personally. I think that would be his calling card. Which then leaves us with a few of kind of, I'd say the lesser names, but to be fair, but you've got Zambrotta still there, but definitely the cheaper options when it comes to these Immortals. We've obviously got Zambrotta as a right back, left back. He can play at 685. Solid stats all round. Intercept, relentless, and press proven. Would have been nice to maybe have had like a jockey or a block or a slide tackle instead of like a relentless or the press proven. I'd have took either or out of there personally. You got Gerrard at 300 with the incisive power shot and intercept. So a nice kind of array across the midfield there. You got Zanetti at 402 with a quick step, relentless jockey. It's decent enough. It's not necessarily my favourite. Again, he just doesn't catch a break in my opinion. I think he's always okay, and that's kind of about it for them. Obviously, Blanc is just beautiful dynamite. Slide tackle, aerial, and anticipate. It's an absolute stunner. Nedved is there. I mean, yeah, he's there. He's just never right at this point. He's obviously got the power shot, tiki-taka. It's just not it, to be honest. As much as when you look at the likes of a Zola, for instance, you've obviously got him here. It's coming in at 34,000, nice and cheap. He can also go into the strike force if you wanted to. If you've still got it, I think it's a very good option. But he already kind of gives you that display of somebody who's better than an 88. He plays better than an 88. And he's got the upgrades that could potentially take him next level. The 89 Nedved would be fantastic with the better playstyle pluses, a setup for an evolution, for a cam especially. We are bound to have so many evolutions that would do really well for that card, and they just put him down the toilet, to be honest. So, unfortunately, I actually do think Zola is very usable, but I would be suggesting the Strike Force if you can, if not an Evo in the future, but he was absolutely incredible. I'd put both of them, to be fair. Obviously, his 93 is very similar in certain aspects. Obviously, you look at the stat difference. It's not too much, to be honest. 2 pace and shooting, 3 on the physical, 5 on the passing, 4 on the dribbling. It's a standard upgrade for 1.3 mil, but you don't get the choice of obviously going for a different playstyle plus with this one. You are looking at the dead ball plus and getting kind of just the generic upgrades as you always would. You can see it's very standard. In terms of a striker, he's not necessarily affected that much. So both very, very clutch in them aspects. I'd definitely be looking something along these lines. I don't think you could really go too much wrong with a lot of the icons. They are semi-decent, and if not, they will be evoed very, very soon. When it comes to the baby versions, or at least the keeper, in fact, the keeper, unfortunately, it's just not going to make it at 5'9". For me personally, I just don't rate it. I need at least 6'4", 6'5". Otherwise, I'll just blame the height. So, in my opinion, you could argue that they could be usable, but I'm just not going to. If being all fair for them, it's not happening. Blanc obviously going into an Evo. He already can go into the brand new one for the President. Doesn't get his double upgrade on his playstyle pluses because he's already got them, unfortunately. But he still gets a nice stat upgrade across the board. And I think Zanetti would be another one. They've actually kind of set him up nicely for this. I don't know whether you could go with probably usable for both of them, but Evo would be where I'd stick them if they're going to obviously go into your team at some point. But when you look at obviously the Zanetti, we've got him coming in the same level as his base, which I don't know why they just didn't give him a 90. I'm assuming because they know that the Evos can come very soon then. But obviously the pinged pass intercept, good combination, great stats across the board. It's a perfect SBC evolution one, but at the moment we will see where he goes, which then leads us into the 4 heroes that we've got. Bompastor was one we already mentioned. We've got Zola coming in at 3.4, and then we have the Russian coming in at 20,000, as well as El Jabba. Straight away, to be honest, I think these are quite simple to go with. I think personally, Bompastor would go into the very usable. I think as a left back, she's very standard, very nice, very good. I'd go Zola, obviously going into the top meta. We'll kind of have a look at him in a second. Well, in fact, we'll look at him now. The upgrade that he's got between the track star 1.9 mil, obviously that one was available or is coming available in some evolutions, and we have got the 89 as well that could go into the certified magician, so we know they are coming very soon. This is a lovely upgrade. Unfortunately, it kind of is more of a winger for him. I think in terms of stats he's going to bring is fantastic, but in terms of playstyle pluses, it's a little bit lacking in my opinion. I think he will drop down to very usable very, very quickly. Now, when it comes to these two, I mean, El Jabba always surprises me as a striker. He's normally pretty good. And I think with the Russian, technical tiki-taka and low-driven, it isn't the worst. I mean, he definitely could have had worse at some point in terms of what he can actually give us. It's going to be very bog standard. I think he would have to be an Evo. Personally, for me, I would probably just miss him altogether. I don't think there's too much that I'm willing to be offered there. So let me know down below what you think, though. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I will catch you all for the next one. Peace. Let me know if you packed any as well.